All right, let's jump right into this Serie A matchup. We're going deep on Empoli versus Udinese.
Should be a good one.
Yeah, I think so. Lots going on here.
It is. And, on the surface, it might look like, kind of your typical mid-table clash. But I think there's actually a lot more to it when you start looking at the details.
Well, let's get into those details. So we've got Empoli, hanging on to a top half spot, but they've been kind of slumping lately. Udinese, just a point ahead of them, but coming off 3 straight losses. So, what's interesting to me is
Yeah,
just how different these two teams are.
totally. Yeah. They've got very different styles, very different strengths and weaknesses. And I think
Yeah.
that's going to make for a very intriguing tactical battle.
Yeah, and I think for Empoli, they are, at least right now, above Udinese in the table.
Right.
But if you look at the points, they're actually closer to the relegation zone than they are to, say, a European spot.
Which is pretty wild when you think about it, right? I mean, they're sitting in 10th place, but they're only 4 points ahead of the drop zone.
Yeah, so let's kind of unpack Empoli a little bit because, like you said, they've been struggling. They had a really strong start to the season. I mean, unbeaten in their first 6 matches.
Yeah, they were really impressive early on.
But then, October hit, and they've only got that 1 win in their last 7.
Yeah, and that win came against Como, who just got promoted. So
Right.
it's not exactly the most, the most impressive victory.
So is this a blip, or is there something more here?
Well, I think there are a couple of things to consider. First of all, their defense is still really solid. They've only conceded 10 goals, which is the 3rd best record in the league.
That's really good.
Yeah. So defensively, they're doing something right. But the problem is they just can't score goals.
Yeah.
They've only scored 9 goals all season, which is, I believe, the 2nd lowest in the league.
Okay, so, and I think the really kind of mind-blowing stat is that they've only scored 1 goal at home.
Yeah, that's right. 1 goal at home all season. It's unbelievable, really. I mean, you'd think they'd be able to, leverage their home advantage a bit more.
Right, right.
But it just hasn't happened for them.
So you would think, based on that, maybe they're just kind of a defensive team
Mm-hmm.
content to, get a 1-0 win or a 0-0 draw.
Right. Just grind out results. But actually, if you look at their underlying stats, they actually attempt a decent number of shots. They're just not very good at actually putting the ball in the back of the net.
Right.
Their shot selection isn't great. Their conversion rate is poor. And at home, especially, they seem to rely a lot on counterattacks, which isn't really that effective against teams that are content to sit back and absorb pressure.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing a team that's, happy to let you have the ball and then try to hit you on the break,
Right.
it's hard to counterattack them.
Exactly. So that could be a problem for them against Udinese, who, like we said, have lost their last 3, but they haven't exactly been shy about going forward this season.
Yeah, no, Udinese they are a fascinating team to watch because they really are a team of extremes.
Yeah, I mean, they've won at least 5 matches this season, but they've also lost at least 5, more than any other team in the league. They're kind of all over the place.
Yeah, it's like you never know which Udinese team is going to show up on any given day. But you have to, I guess, give them a little bit of credit because those last 3 losses were against, some pretty good teams. We're talking Atalanta and Juventus.
Twice.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, those are tough opponents for anyone. But, I think if you look at their season as a whole, there's a bit of a pattern there. They tend to struggle against teams that are well organized defensively and press them high up the pitch.
Yeah, which is what Empoli does.
Exactly. So, Empoli could definitely cause them some problems, especially at home where, like we said, they have that amazing defensive record.
Only 2 goals conceded before halftime all season at home. That's incredible.
It is. It really is. So if Empoli can, weather the storm early on, maybe catch Udinese on the break, they might have a chance.
The question is, can they score? I mean, they haven't shown that they're capable of doing that consistently.
Yeah, and that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? They're going to need someone to step up and provide a spark in attack. One player to watch is Liberato, their left back. He's coming off some really impressive performances.
Yeah, I saw that.
He had 2 assists in a recent Empoli match and then followed that up with another 2 assists for New Zealand in their 8-1 win.
8-1. That's insane.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. Of course, international duty and club football are 2 very different things.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to come back from that and kind of maintain that same level
Right.
of form.
Exactly. And he's going to have a tough test against Udinese's Florian Thauvin, who has been directly involved in 8 goals already this season, 4 goals and 4 assists.
So that's going to be a key battle right there on that wing.
Absolutely. That's one to watch, for sure.
So, we've got a clash of styles here. We've got Empoli's really stingy defense, particularly in the first half, against Udinese's attack, which can be very potent, but also a little bit unpredictable.
And let's not forget the head-to-head record. Udinese are actually unbeaten in their last 5 matches against Empoli.
Yeah, it's
A win or a draw in this match would make it their longest unbeaten streak ever against Empoli in Serie A.
So, the big question is, can Empoli finally find their scoring touch at home? Or will Udinese kind of capitalize on Empoli's recent struggles? What are you thinking?
It's a tough one to call, I think if Empoli can stay organized at the back like they have been all season, frustrate Udinese, they've got a chance. But I think in the end, it might come down to which team is more clinical in front of goal.
Yeah.
And based on what we've seen so far this season, I think Udinese might have the edge there.
Well, there you have it. It's going to be a good one. We'll see what happens.
I'm excited to find out.
Me too.
Should be fun.
All right, we'll be back next week with another deep dive. See ya.
See ya.